What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? So, the draft lottery is over. We've had a night to sleep on it, how we feel about it, and today I'm just going to be giving you guys my, second day reaction and analysis to it. I did this last year as well, and we are just going to be going through each team in the lottery, how I think if they got screwed, they got lucky, what they could end up doing, could they end up trading the pick. If you guys enjoy these draft lottery videos, feel free to drop a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Probably got a mock draft reaction video out for you guys tomorrow because I know ESPN's posting those. You got Bleacher Report, The Athletic. They're all out there. So you could see, or you could expect to see those in the next coming days. So we can just get right into this video. We have the first draft order, or the first round order, in front of us here on Bleacher Report. Also, shout out to DeAndre Ayton for this crazy play last night. But the Detroit Pistons are technically the luckiest team in this draft. They end up getting the rights to the #1 overall pick. We all know that they're going to most likely stay at that pick and select Cade Cunningham, the point guard out of Oklahoma State. Nothing really you can say about it. They go from 2-1. That didn't happen. Or did that happen last year? I don't think the Timberwolves said that. I don't know. It might have happened last year. Definitely didn't happen in 2019. I don't know who had the second highest odds last year. It could have been Cleveland, and they fell from 2 to 5. Probably is what ended up happening. But yeah, Detroit gets #1. They add Cade Cunningham to their young core of Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey, Sekou Doumbouya, Killian Hayes, Saban Lee, and yeah, they don't have their second round pick in this draft. I believe that pick will go to the New York Knicks from the Marcus Morris trade, I think, or maybe it was the Daniel Otoro trade from last draft. But either way, the Pistons, they get their next franchise guy. Even if this means Killian Hayes doesn't develop as well, who gives a you know what? Because Cade is a generational prospect. You would give up no first-round pick last year just to have Cade Cunningham this year. And the Pistons are lucky. He's there for 4 years on his rookie deal, 4 to 5 more years on his extension. That's at least 9 years he'll be there, bearing any trade. But yeah, I don't think they're trading the pick. Cade Cunningham is the selection. Detroit gets their guy after being in years of purgatory with Andre Drummond and then Blake Griffin. They also have Reggie Jackson at some point, and just those teams with Greg Monroe. It just really wasn't a team that was ever, or Stanley Johnson. They were just never going to amount to anything past the 6th or 5th seed in the Eastern Conference, or never even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals with that constructed roster. And even KCP was there, but KCP wasn't that bad of a pick. And it's nice to see Detroit maybe get their guy. I'm sure they'll be in the lottery. They'll probably be in the top 10 again next year, but at least they're going to be in a step in the right direction with Cade Cunningham. On to #2, the Houston Rockets. They are one of the luckiest teams in the show because they could have fell from 1 to 5, and it hasn't happened yet from a 1 seed. So next year, don't get the first pick, because 2K, if you get the first pick, you're always dropping to 5. It hasn't happened yet. Knicks drop from 1 to 3. Warriors 1 to 2. This year, Rockets go from 1 to 2. Next year, it's bound to happen that you're gonna be dropping to 5, and it's gonna be just gut wrenching. So Rockets, they get very lucky because if they fell to 5, that pick would have gone to the Thunder, which they don't end up with Jonathan Kuminga, which would have sucked. So they end up with the second overall pick. I think that they're going to take Evan Mobley. There is a chance they could take Jalen Green. I'm a big Jalen Green guy. A lot of people were big Jalen Suggs over Green. I was Green over Suggs, and I'm still that way. I think he's the best scorer entering this draft, and he has the best scoring potential in this class. And then also, I feel like he could fit their team well for the future, but I guess maybe similar position to KPJ, or just kind of roll on the floor. But I like Evan Mobley here. Pair him up with Christian Wood as your front court. I think if you got Christian Wood, Evan Mobley can play right away. There's your front court. Boom. And then you got Jayshawn Tate. You got Kevin Porter Jr., John Wall, Eric Gordon, Kevin Martin Jr. That team could maybe get you back into the play-in tournament discussion. I mean discussion, because they weren't terrible in the beginning of the year with Christian Wood, but once he went down, boy, that team sucked. And I'm just realizing now I was listening off the young core in my mock draft video that's going out on my main channel today. Completely forgot to mention Jayshawn Tate in that, so I'm going to have to put that in the comment section. But yeah, get Evan Mobley here. Somebody that can play well on both sides of the floor, and I think he's the staple for that Rockets franchise. Their next, they've gone through some different centers over the last 10 years. Dwight Howard, Clint Capella, and maybe it's not the next one up is Evan Mobley, because they've had some good ones in the past, obviously with Hakeem Olajuwon and Yao Ming. Boom, get Evan Mobley here. Cavs at 3. I know they've been going backcourt a lot. They ended up going to Coral last year. Maybe they like Kuminga here. Maybe they trade down with Orlando if Orlando's willing to give them maybe one of the Chicago picks. Or maybe, and that Denver pick that they got from Gordon. And Orlando's okay, we want Jalen Green. We'll trade up from 5 to 3, get Jalen Green. And the Cavs are all right, we'll accumulate more picks. And we like the idea, and maybe they get I don't know, Mobamba. I don't know. I'm just throwing out random stuff right now. But yeah, maybe they're like, all right, we'll accumulate more picks. We don't want to move Colin Sexton. We don't really want to draft a backup. We want to draft an immediate starter. So we're going to go and take Kuminga at 5 and roll with Sexland, Okoro, Kuminga, and Allen for the future. That could be a mindset if you're fine with getting Kuminga over Green, and you can definitely get more assets. Because I think it's looking like that the Raptors, or the Cavs, or Kuminga won't go 3 or 4. It's going to be Green or Suggs unless the team changes their mind around the draft, which could definitely happen. But hey, either way, you trade down and you still get Suggs or Green, who you could have taken at 3. So I think Cleveland should call up Orlando and try to get maybe that Chicago pick in 2023. Just get an extra first, move down, take Kuminga. Possibly, if they aren't trading Sexton. If they're trading Sexton, boy, what I'm doing, I'm taking Green at 3, and I'm calling up the Philadelphia 76ers, and I'm like, we'll give you Larry Nance, we'll give you Dylan Windler. Man, if they had KPJ still, this would have been nice. But we'll give you Larry Nance, Dylan Windler, and Colin Sexton. You give us Ben Simmons. I don't know if they agree to that. They might hang up. But boom, if you can roll out a Garland, Green, Okoro, Simmons, Allen starting 5, hey, that's pretty good. Those guys are either under contract or going to be restricted free agents and under their team contracts. So I would just love that move for Cleveland if they were able to pull that off. I don't know, though. We'll see what happens if they even want to move Sexton. But I would go Green there at 3. On to 4 with the Toronto Raptors. I think this leaves... I mean, it should be Jalen Suggs, especially if Kyle Lowry leaves. Even if he doesn't leave, Kyle Lowry's getting up there in age where he doesn't have many years left in this league, so he could be a great mentor for Suggs. And this maybe stumps Malachi Flynn's development and will kind of be just a... he'll just never be a starter because you'll always have Van Vliet and Suggs there in that backcourt. So I still think you go Suggs, take Lowry leaves, he joins like the Lakers, the Sixers, the Mavericks, I don't know, a contending team, the Heat, and you have... Van Vliet at the 1, Suggs at the 2, and Anunoby at the 3, Siakam at the 4, Boucher at the 5 with Gary Trent as your 6th man. That's pretty nice. It's way better than, I think they had the 7th odds, so you fall into 7 or 8, and you're ending up with Jalen Johnson. Or not that bad, Davion Mitchell. They probably would have been a Davion Mitchell team in my opinion. But getting, I think, Jalen Suggs at 4, Raptors fans are should feel very grateful, very lucky that they get a top 4 guy in this class. 5, Orlando Magic. They've dropped from 3 to 5, so they should be a little bit annoyed. They probably are a little bit happy that they were able to keep that Chicago pick and it didn't convey to next year. But at 5, I think it's a no-brainer Kuminga, which I think might be better than Suggs for this team, because Suggs, I feel like, is a kind of a ball handler, looks like somebody that needs the ball in their hands, like Green could be an off-ball player. And you already kind of have that in Cole Anthony. You have that in Markelle Fultz. You also have another young guard in RJ Hampton that you want to give minutes and possessions to. So kind of adding Jalen Suggs would have been a huge logjam at that ball handler position. Now you can add Jonathan Kuminga, who could probably play alongside Jonathan Isaac. I mean, you probably won't start him alongside Isaac. You got Chumo Kiki there. But yeah, boom, you just include... Jonathan Kuminga there. I like that a lot because you got your centers in Bamba and Carter Jr. I don't think this is the end of the world. I think if you dropped to 6, would have sucked a little bit. But hey, maybe Scotty Barnes ends up better than Orlando. So I was liking that there. I think that's the consensus top 5. I think 1 and 2 should be Cade and then Mobley. Like Cade is definitely at 1, and then I would say that like Mobley should definitely be at 2, and then I think Kuminga should definitely be at 5, and then it's depending if Cleveland wants Suggs or Green. 6, Oklahoma City. They got screwed up here a little bit. I think they dropped from 4 to 5, I think. Or no, 4 to 6, which does suck a little bit. And then they obviously didn't get the Rockets pick. I think here you go Scotty Barnes. I like him kind of being a playmaking 4, that stretch forward for their future. I wouldn't really look at Davion Mitchell because you're really not trying to contend next year or compete. You could also look at Jalen Johnson. I don't think I would really look at Franz Wagner or even Moses Moody. I think that is a little bit high at 6. So I would look at Jalen Johnson or Scotty Barnes for them there. Golden State at 7. They got to be ecstatic. They could use this trade, or excuse me, use this pick and 14 to package that with Wiggins and Wiseman, and who knows what they can get there. Who knows? Maybe they can call up, like Ben Simmons trade now, you could be in the gutter. They call up the Sixers. We'll give you 7, 14, and Wiggins. For Ben Simmons. I don't know where Ben Simmons' trade value is at, but that's something, right? It's something. So I think that Golden State, if they stay here, go Davion Mitchell. How about your defense? He's a more NBA-ready player for that second unit. Orlando at 8. I think you could go guard or wing here. I like either one of the Johnsons, Keon or Jalen Johnson for them at 8. Sacramento at 9. I think I like whoever Orlando doesn't take at 8. I mean, Sacramento at 9 could be ready for a win-now move, but I think if Jalen Johnson falls to them at 9, you have to take him. But there's a chance that OKC takes Jalen Johnson at 6. Who knows? Even Orlando could take Jalen Johnson at 5. You never know what these NBA teams can do. Nobody expected after the lottery last year to hear Patrick Williams' name number 4 on draft night. Nobody did. Nobody did. So these guys will definitely be risers when we come closer to the draft and the combine. Pelicans at 10, a team that could also be looking to trade their pick, package with one of their high salary players in Bledsoe or Adams. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they could go for some shooting around Zion Williamson. You look at Moses Moody, you look at Cam Thomas, you look at Corey Kispert, or a playmaking wing in Franz Wagner. 12 or 11, Charlotte. I like Franz Wagner there. I also, since you're losing Malik Monk, possibly Devontae Graham, and more shooting around LaMelo Ball. So one of those guys that the Pelicans don't take, like Kispert, like Cam Thomas, even like James Bouknight or Moses Moody. We got the Spurs at 12. Also one of those guys I just mentioned. I think they would go for one of those shooting guys. They would look, I think they'd be the perfect team for Josh Giddey, just because they would like him a lot. But they have DeJounte Murray, they have Lonnie Walker, they have Derek White. I don't think they would take a backcourt guy to really run that offense. I think they would take a 2 that could maybe play the 3, like a Moody, like a Bouknight. On to the Pacers there at 13. I'm a big Giddey guy to them there, especially if they're looking to move Malcolm Brogdon. Who knows, though? Maybe they package 13 and Brogdon for Ben Simmons. I'm just saying. Actually, Brogdon probably fits the Sixers better than Ben Simmons. Like, they might just do that straight up. I don't know. I'm just throwing out stuff. Next up, we have the Golden State Warriors at 14. Get some shooting. If you're keeping this pick at 9, including it in trade, and you're going Davion Mitchell there at 7, like you're getting that NBA ready defensive guy, you go for some shooting there at 14. And there's a good chance that one of those guys I mentioned, Kispert, Moody, Bouknight, or Cam Thomas, one of those 4 guys will definitely be there at 14. I would think even one of the 3 of Moody, Kispert, and Bouknight will be there at 13. Cam Thomas might go non-lottery. We'll see, but people put a high premium on shooting. You look at Cam Thomas, you look at Aaron Nesmith, these guys are going in the lottery because they could shoot from the last 2 drafts. Or, I mean, he didn't work out, but Kevin Knox, right? Like, these guys are going into the lottery because they could shoot. So, yeah, that is pretty much my, like, post-reaction to the lottery picks and analysis. If you guys want to know what I think about any other of these teams, just go watch my first-round mock draft on my main channel. That will be coming out today. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that a lot. Thank you all for the support lately. Let me know what you guys think of the lottery after sleeping on it down below. And yeah, I love you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one.